position, but the way the view that might be taken of this report in respect of politics. Now, at the launch, there was a comment from the floor that this was just about politics. And I'm going to repeat what I said then, that Stephen does not know my politics. Nobody knows my politics. You don't know whether I'm on the left or on the right. And I think it's important that you engage everybody from all sides, whether they be Labour or Conservative, or in the middle somewhere. And this, for all the fervent nature of the campaign, there is cold argument behind this, not to do with where you are on the political spectrum. In fact, another thought I'd like to do, taking up the gentleman from Harrow. Can I talk? Can you hear me? And it's to do with workload. And as we've heard from Sean, it isn't about money, as far as I know. And it is about workload. And I'm from the generation that worked 100 hours. Now, the 100 hours then was not the 56 hours that my daughter worked when she was working in hospitals, or that Sean was, in the sense that I was, in 1974 and 1975, looked after. I might get up just once a night. The intensity of the care I had, of the patients I looked after, was nothing like Sean looks after now. On my wards, when I worked 100 hours, I might have 1 or 2 sick people. Now, to get into hospital now, you have to be very sick. And when it's my daughter or other youngsters I talk to, they're on call covering a huge number of wards, and everybody is poorly. When I was young, perhaps except for doing paediatrics at Charing Cross, I could pace myself. I have to be said, in truth, at 75 I did 80 hours and it was murder in paediatrics. But, so all I can say is that, yes, you'll hear comparisons to what myself or George in the audience might have done in 40 years ago, when we did do ridiculous hours, but it's the intensity we're talking about. Now that intensity also applies to what GPs are doing and the GP staff are doing at the moment. Now, you may not believe I'm an old man. I decided to go part-time a couple of years before I retired. And that part-time was to work the equivalent of 3 days a week. But I found myself doing 60 hours a week. And it's a strange thing. Strange thing was, I was working more intensively than I was 20 years previously, because for the first half of my practice life, we used to get up at night, and nobody went to hospital unless there were a major accident until they called us. And I would be out at 2 o'clock at night, and I would try and hopefully have a shower, go to work again. It was a weekend. I would do that, maybe be up 3 nights running. Unfortunately, I married the daughter of 2 doctors, and so I was backed up. Now, it was a very strange thing that a couple of years ago, I found myself not getting up at night anymore, but working more intensively on non-clinical issues. So on a Sunday night, or a Saturday night, or a Sunday morning, in between doing things for my wife and doing what I was told, I was tackling paperwork. I was at the laptop, not actually visiting patients. Now, I don't know how that happened, that we moved from this intense administration, intense focus, we've moved to this intense focus of the administration away from doing the clinical work, what I call the consultations, which is the joy of doing general practice. I don't think so. Thank you for your attention.